The ultimate smartphone ranking of 2025. 12 phones from absolute worst to undisputed best. Welcome to the most honest smartphone breakdown you'll hear this year. We're counting down from the absolute disasters you need to avoid at all costs, all the way up to the technological masterpieces that actually deserve your hard-earned money. This isn't about hype or marketing spin. This is about cold, hard facts backed by expert analysis, real-world testing, and the brutal truth about what makes a phone worth buying in 2025. The smartphone game has fundamentally changed. We're not just talking about megapixels and processor speeds anymore. In 2025, two things separate the winners from the losers: genuine on-device artificial intelligence capabilities and 7-year software support commitments. If a phone doesn't have both, it's already obsolete before you even take it out of the box. Industry projections show that AI-enabled smartphones will make up 30% of all sales this year, climbing to a staggering 70% by 2029. The revolution is here, and it's happening right now. So let's dive into the countdown and separate the champions from the complete disasters. Number 12. Older TechnoSpark and Pop series, the security nightmare. Starting at the absolute bottom of the barrel, we have the older TechnoSpark and Pop series phones from before 2024. These devices represent everything wrong with the ultra-budget smartphone market. We're talking about phones that shipped with 1 or 2 gigabytes of RAM in 2025. Let that sink in. 1 gigabyte of RAM trying to run modern Android is like trying to run a marathon in flip-flops. But the RAM situation is just the beginning of this disaster. Tecno's software update policy is criminally short. We're talking about 1, maybe 2 major Android updates if you're lucky, and security patches that dry up faster than a puddle in the desert. Most of these devices get abandoned within 1 or 2 years. Cybersecurity experts are screaming from the rooftops, do not use these phones for anything sensitive. Banking apps, personal emails, social media, they're all at risk on a device that stopped receiving security patches when the manufacturer moved on to the next cheap model. Here's the brutal reality. You might save $50 or $100 buying one of these things, but you're getting a phone that can barely multitask, crashes when you have more than 3 apps open, and becomes a security liability faster than milk left out in the sun. The true cost of this phone isn't the purchase price, it's the headache, the frustration, the vulnerability, and the fact that you'll need to replace it in 18 months anyway. Avoid these like the plague. Number 11. Any new phone with MediaTek Helio G99 or G200 chipsets, the obsolescence trap. Moving up slightly, but not by much, we have any brand new phone in 2025 that's still using the MediaTek Helio G99 or G200 processor. This includes devices like certain Tecno, Cayman 30 models. Now, here's the thing. These processors were fine 2 or 3 years ago. They handle basic tasks, social media scrolling, light gaming, no problem. But this is 2025, and the game has changed. Generative AI is the defining feature of modern smartphones. On-device AI processing requires specialized neural processing units, modern architecture, and significant computational power. The Helio G99 and G200, built on older 6-nanometer architecture, simply do not have the silicon necessary to run these features. They can't do it. It's not a software limitation. It's a fundamental hardware bottleneck. So when you buy a brand new phone with one of these chips, you're essentially buying a phone that's already outdated. Sure, it'll work today. It'll send texts, browse the web, take decent photos and good lighting. But it's locked out of the primary feature ecosystem that defines the 2025 smartphone experience. Every software update that comes out will leave you further behind, unable to access the AI tools that everyone else is using. Manufacturers know this. They're deliberately choosing these older, cheaper chips to hit aggressive price points, and they're passing the cost of early obsolescence directly onto you, the consumer. Spend an extra $100 and get a phone with a modern AI-capable processor. Your future self will thank you. Number 10. Infinix Note 40 Pro Series, the flashy letdown. The Infinix Note 40 Pro Series is the perfect example of what I call spec sheet deception. On paper, this thing looks incredible. Big, beautiful AMOLED screen, 70-watt fast charging that tops you up in 30 minutes, aggressive styling, and a price that makes you wonder how they did it. But here's how they did it. They cut corners everywhere that actually matters. Quality control is inconsistent at best. Users report random system shutdowns, frozen interfaces, and apps hanging for no clear reason. The customer service experience with Infinix is legendarily bad. When something goes wrong, and statistically something will go wrong, getting help is like pulling teeth. You're on your own. Let's talk real-world performance. Despite being marketed toward power users and gamers, the Note 40 Pro struggles to maintain smooth frame rates during graphically demanding games like PUBG Mobile on high settings. The camera system is wildly inconsistent. Sometimes it produces decent shots. Other times, images come out washed out, overexposed, or with bizarre color processing. The audio output is weak, lacking bass and depth, making media consumption disappointing. This is a phone designed to win at the point of sale with impressive numbers and a low price, but it fails to deliver a reliable, satisfying daily experience. You're better off spending slightly more on a device from a manufacturer with a proven track record of quality control and customer support. Flashy specs mean nothing if the phone can't deliver consistency. Number 9. Motorola Moto G 2025, the software support disaster. The Motorola Moto G 2025 is a tragedy because Motorola used to stand for something. They used to make solid, dependable phones. But in 2025, choosing a Moto G is choosing to accept a phone with a rapidly approaching expiration date. Motorola's software update policy is shockingly weak compared to the market leaders. They offer 3 to 5 years of operating system updates, and their security patch delivery is inconsistent and slow. Compare that to Samsung and Google's 7-year commitment, and the Moto G looks like a terrible investment. Consumer polls from August 2025 showed the Moto G among the least popular devices, and the reason is clear. Informed buyers understand that software support is the single most important factor in a phone's long-term value. Here's what happens when you buy a Moto G. For the first year, maybe 2, it's fine. Decent performance, acceptable camera, reasonable battery life. But then the updates start slowing down. Security patches arrive late, if at all. New Android features take months to arrive, or they just never come. By year 3, you're running outdated software on a phone that's becoming a security liability. Hackers and malware evolve constantly. A phone without active security support is a sitting duck. The market leaders have set a new standard. 7 years is the benchmark. Anything less is unacceptable, especially in the mid-range category where long-term value should be the primary selling point. Motorola is failing to meet the moment, and consumers are rightfully walking away. Number 8. Apple iPhone 16, the most disappointing Apple product of the year. Apple has built a reputation for tight quality control and exceptional user experience. That's why the iPhone 16e is so shocking. Reviewers called it the worst phone of 2025, and testing it was described as using the most horrible smartphone of the year. This is an Apple product. This shouldn't be possible. The 16e's biggest problem is its value proposition or complete lack thereof. Despite carrying the Apple premium price tag, this phone is missing features that are standard on competing devices and even on older iPhones. No MagSafe compatibility, no always-on display, no telephoto camera lens. You're paying Apple prices for a feature set that looks like a budget Android phone from 3 years ago. But it gets worse. Apple inexplicably brought back the massive notch that everyone hated. Modern phones have moved to cleaner, more minimal designs with tiny punch holes or under-display cameras. The 16e looks dated the moment you turn on the screen. The software situation is even more embarrassing. The new Apple AI features and Siri improvements that were supposed to be. The headline features are, according to reviewers, hopeless. They fail to deliver meaningful improvements. In some cases, they actually make the user experience more frustrating. Even gaming performance, something Apple typically dominates, is inconsistent on the 16e. Frame rates dip unexpectedly despite using a version of the A18 chip. This suggests thermal management issues or poor software optimization, problems that are extremely unusual for Apple products. The iPhone 16e proves that even the most respected brand can release a fundamentally flawed product. Apple fans deserve better. Everyone deserves better. Skip this disaster and wait for the next generation, or go with a proven model, like the iPhone 17 Pro Max. Number 7. Samsung Galaxy S25 Edge, the overheating flagship failure. Here, we have the perfect example of a bad flagship. The Galaxy S25 Edge is a premium device with a fatal design flaw. Samsung prioritized aesthetics over engineering, and the result is a phone that can't handle the computational demands of 2025. The S25 Edge is obsessively thin. It's a gorgeous piece of industrial design, sleek and modern, the kind of phone that looks incredible in marketing photos, but that ultra-slim body comes with brutal compromises. The internal space available for thermal management is drastically reduced, and the battery had to be shrunk down to just 4,000 milliamp hours compared to the 5,500 milliamp hours in the S25 Ultra. Here's the problem. This phone is running the same demanding processes as every other 2025 flagship: high refresh rate displays, 5G connectivity, intensive AI processing workloads. But it doesn't have the cooling capacity to handle it. The result is significant heat buildup during normal use and battery life that drains faster than users expect. Consumer polls showed the S25 Edge as highly unpopular, and the reason is clear once you actually use the device. Real-world S25 Edge owners find themselves constantly babysitting their phone. They disable the high refresh rate to reduce heat. They uninstall power-hungry apps. They avoid using AI features because they know it'll cause thermal throttling. You're paying flagship prices for a phone that you have to deliberately handicap just to keep it running smoothly. That's unacceptable. Samsung makes incredible phones. The S25 Ultra is a masterpiece. But the S25 Edge is a cautionary tale about what happens when design priorities override engineering fundamentals. Your phone needs to work reliably at full performance. If it can't, it's not worth buying, regardless of how good it looks. Number 6. Nothing. Phone 3A, the value king, enters the good tier. Now we cross into genuinely good phones worth your money, and we're starting with one of the most impressive value propositions in the entire smartphone market: the Nothing Phone 3A. This device starts at just $379, and the moment you start looking at the spec sheet, you'll be asking yourself how this is even possible at this price point. Nothing has made a name for itself with distinctive, eye-catching design, and the 3A doesn't compromise. It maintains the brand's signature aesthetic while delivering serious hardware. Performance. You're getting a massive 6.8-inch OLED display with a buttery smooth 120 Hz refresh rate and an absolutely stunning peak brightness of up to 4,500 nits. That's flagship-level display technology in a mid-range device. The performance is strong enough to handle everything the average user throws at it: multitasking, gaming, content creation, all without breaking a sweat. But here's the kicker. Nothing offers up to 5 years of Android updates. That's not quite the 7-year standard set by Samsung and Google, but it's significantly better than most competitors in this price range. And it ensures this phone will remain secure and functional for the long haul. The Nothing Phone 3A makes you question why you'd spend double or triple the price on a flagship when this device delivers 90% of the experience for a fraction of the cost. It's proof that the mid-range market has evolved to the point where compromises are minimal and value is maximized. If you're budget-conscious but refuse to settle for a mediocre experience, this is your phone. Number 5. OnePlus, then 13R, the performance and battery champion. The OnePlus 13R takes the 5th spot and earns the title of Best Mid-Priced Android Phone for 2020. So, 2025. Priced at around $600, the 13R delivers a combination of flagship-level performance and absolutely exceptional battery life that makes it a standout choice for power users who don't want to drop $1,000 or more. Let's talk specs. You're getting a 3.3 GHz octa-core processor, 12 gigabytes of RAM, and a truly massive 6,000 milliamp hour battery. That battery capacity is larger than what you'll find in most flagship devices, and when paired with OnePlus's legendary fast-charging technology, which they describe as stupidly fast, you get a phone that can go all day under heavy use and recharge to full in under an hour. The 13R represents the practical performance ceiling we talked about earlier. The vast majority of smartphone users will never push this device to its limits. It handles gaming at high frame rates, runs demanding apps smoothly, and multitasks without lag. The real-world experience is indistinguishable from phones costing hundreds of dollars more. OnePlus provides 4 years of Android OS updates, which is solid for the mid-range segment and ensures the device remains supported and secure well into the future. The 13R is the smart buyer's flagship, the phone for people who understand that paying for the absolute top-tier processor and camera system delivers diminishing returns. This is where the sweet spot lives. Exceptional performance, outstanding battery life, and a price that makes financial sense. Number 4. Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7, the productivity powerhouse. The Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7 claims the 4th spot as the undisputed king of foldable smartphones. The foldable category is still niche, representing a small but steadily growing segment projected to expand by 6% year over year through 2026. But if you're looking for maximum productivity and cutting-edge innovation, the Z Fold 7 is the only choice that matters. Previous generations of foldables often required compromises, particularly in camera quality. The Z Fold 7 eliminates that compromise. It now features a 200-megapixel main camera, a 12-megapixel ultra-wide, and a 10-megapixel telephoto lens with 3 times optical zoom. This is flagship imaging quality. You're not giving up anything by choosing the foldable form factor anymore. The productivity benefits of a phone that unfolds into a tablet are real and substantial. You can run multiple apps side by side, edit documents with precision, consume media on a screen that rivals small tablets, and then fold it back down to fit in your pocket. It's transformative for certain use cases, particularly for business users, content creators, and anyone who treats their phone as their primary computing device. Critically, Samsung backs the Z Fold 7 with their industry-leading 7-year software and security support commitment. This addresses one of the biggest historical concerns with niche hardware platforms. Will it be supported long-term? Samsung's answer is a resounding yes. The Z Fold 7 is expensive, but it's a genuine innovation that delivers tangible benefits, and it's built to last. Number 3. Google Pixel 10 Pro, the AI integration masterpiece. Taking the bronze medal is the Google Pixel 10 Pro, widely recognized as the best AI phone overall in 2025. If you want the purest, most seamless expression of what on-device artificial intelligence can do, this is the phone that sets the standard. The Pixel 10 Pro is powered by Google's Tensor G5 chip, specifically designed to prioritize AI processing capabilities. This deep integration means AI features aren't bolted on as afterthoughts. They're fundamental to how the phone operates, from intelligent photo processing that turns mediocre shots into stunning images, to real-time language translation, to smart contextual suggestions that actually feel smart. The Pixel 10 Pro demonstrates what happens when hardware and software are designed in perfect harmony. Google has also matched Samsung's commitment with 7 years of software and security updates. This directly appeals to security-conscious buyers and anyone who wants to maximize their investment. The Pixel 10 Pro is a smaller device compared to the massive flagships dominating the market, making it an excellent choice for users who want high-end performance in a more manageable form factor. The camera system on Pixel phones has always been exceptional, and the 10 Pro continues that tradition with computational photography that rivals or exceeds phones with more impressive sensor specs on paper. Google's software magic makes the difference. The Pixel 10 Pro is the thinking person's flagship, the choice for users who value intelligence, integration, and longevity over raw benchmark numbers. Number 2. Apple iPhone 17 Pro Max, the performance absolute. The silver medal goes to the Apple iPhone 17 Pro Max, crowned as the best phone overall by multiple expert reviewers. This device sets the definitive benchmark for raw mobile performance in 2025, delivering power that exceeds what most users will ever need, but ensuring you'll never, ever be disappointed. The iPhone 17 Pro Max is powered by the A18 Pro chipset, and the performance is simply staggering. Benchmark comparisons show it keeping pace with the monstrous Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5, which is the fastest Android chip available. This translates to instantaneous app launches, seamless multitasking across dozens of apps, desktop-class gaming performance, and future-proofing that ensures this phone will still feel fast 5 years from now. But speed is just part of the equation. The iPhone 17 Pro Max is a creator's dream machine. The camera system provides professional-grade tools, including the ability to shoot raw images, record log video for maximum editing flexibility, and capture ProRes footage that's ready for professional workflows. Filmmakers and photographers can use this phone as their primary production tool. Apple typically offers 5 to 6 years of consistent software support, maintaining high standards throughout the device's lifecycle. This ensures strong resale value and long-term reliability. The iPhone 17 Pro Max is expensive, there's no way around that. But you're getting the best ecosystem integration in the industry, unmatched performance, and a device that will serve you exceptionally well for years. If you're already invested in the Apple ecosystem, this is the flagship to buy. Number 1. Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra, the undisputed champion. And here we are, the number one smartphone of 2025, the device that does everything at the highest possible level. The Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra is the best Android phone overall, and it earns that title through a combination of industry-leading AI implementation, the finest camera system available, a display that outshines every competitor, and a commitment to longevity that protects your investment for 7 full years. Let's start with the brain. The S25 Ultra is powered by Samsung's integrated Galaxy AI engines running on the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 chipset. This is the fastest, most capable mobile processor you can get in an Android device. Benchmark scores reach an absolutely staggering 3.9 million on Antutu 11. But, more importantly, this power enables real-world AI features that are genuinely useful: intelligent photo editing, real-time translation, contextual suggestions, and advanced computational photography. Speaking of photography, the S25 Ultra features the top-tier camera system in the smartphone world. It's consistently praised for practical imaging tools that deliver real advantages. The 10x optical zoom capability is particularly noteworthy, providing a significant real-world benefit over digital zoom tricks. You can capture distant subjects with clarity and detail that would be impossible on other phones. The display is class-leading in every measurable way. The 6.9-inch AMOLED panel runs at a resolution of 3120 by 1440 pixels, with a density of 498 pixels per inch. Comparative testing shows it maintains the brightest picture compared to direct rivals like the iPhone 17 Pro Max and the Pixel 10 Pro XL. Outdoor visibility is exceptional, color accuracy is reference grade, and the high refresh rate makes every interaction feel fluid and responsive. But here's what seals the deal and elevates the S25 Ultra above every competitor: Samsung's pledge of 7 years of security and operating system support. This is the gold standard. This is what every manufacturer should offer, but most don't. 7 years means this phone will receive Android updates through 2032. Think about that. You're buying a device today that will remain secure, functional, and feature-current nearly a decade into the future. The annual cost of ownership drops dramatically when you can confidently use a phone for 7 years instead of 2 or 3. The S25 Ultra is expensive, there's no sugarcoating it, but you're getting the absolute pinnacle of smartphone technology. The best camera, the brightest display, the most powerful processor, the longest software support commitment, and deep AI integration that defines the 2025 experience. This is the phone that does it all, and it does it all better than anyone else. If you want the best and you're willing to pay for it, the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra is your device. Final verdict and recommendations. So there you have it. 12 phones spanning the entire spectrum from absolute disasters to technological masterpieces. The 2025 smartphone market is defined by 2 critical factors: genuine AI capability and extended software support. The winners understand this, the losers don't, or they don't care. If you're shopping for a phone right now, here's your action plan. If you're on a tight budget, the Nothing Phone 3A delivers flagship features for under $400. It's the smart compromise that doesn't feel like a compromise. If you want maximum battery life and performance without flagship prices, the OnePlus 13R at $600 is unbeatable. You get all-day power and speed that rivals phones costing twice as much. If you're a productivity powerhouse or early adopter, the Galaxy Z Fold 7 is the foldable to buy. It finally delivers flagship cameras in an innovative form factor with 7 years of support. If you prioritize pure AI integration and you want the smartest phone available, the Google Pixel 10 Pro is your device. 7 years of updates and computational intelligence that feels like magic. If you're deep in the Apple ecosystem and want the absolute best performance, the iPhone 17 Pro Max is the clear choice. Unmatched speed and professional-grade content creation tools. And if you want the best Android phone, period, the phone that dominates every category, the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra is the undisputed champion. Avoid the bottom 6 at all costs. Don't be tempted by low prices on phones with terrible software support. Don't fall for spec sheet deception. Don't buy anything with an outdated processor that can't handle modern AI workloads. And absolutely do not compromise on security by choosing a phone that won't receive updates. Your phone is your most used device. It's your camera, your computer, your communication hub, your entertainment center. It deserves serious consideration and smart decision-making. Buy for the long term. Buy for security. Buy for AI capabilities. Buy for 7 years of support, not 2. That's the 2025 smartphone landscape. 12 devices, 6 disasters, 6 champions, and 1 clear winner. Now you know the truth. Make your choice wisely. If this breakdown helped you make sense of the chaos, drop a comment letting me know which phone you're choosing, or tell me which device you think I ranked too high or too low. I read every comment, and I love a good debate. Subscribe for more no-nonsense tech analysis that cuts through the marketing spin and gives you the real story. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. Now get out there and make an informed purchase. Your future self will thank you.